Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for this week's video, I'm going to be talking about the best highlighters for pale skin, fair skin, people that have a similar complexion to mine. Because I worked at Sephora and I am pretty aware of all the different highlighters that at least the brands that Sephora carries has out. And I'm familiar with drugstore brands as well, obviously. And not a lot of them have like a really good highlighter with an undertone that suits fair skin. So over the years I've collected quite a few, and today I'm going to be showing you my favorites. And for each one I'll insert a little clip of me wearing it so you can see how it looks on someone with my complexion. I think with a couple of these, honestly, you could get away with them too if you're a couple shades darker than I am, because some of them have, you know, different undertones and stuff. So if you want to see my favorite picks for the lightest shade of highlighters, and keep on watching. Alright, so first we have my favorite highlighter. It's my go-to highlighter on any day where I'm just feeling like I want a blinding highlight. And it's probably the one I wear the most, honestly. It is Jeffree Star's Skin Frost and Ice Cold. Let me show you what it looks like here. Oh my god. It's so fucking beautiful. It is literally white. It's kind of got like a neutral undertone to it. It's not too gold, not too silver. It's just like the perfect shade that complements my skin tone. And the other thing I love too about all of his Skin Frost in his line, the pan is massive. This compared to the Makeup Forever Profusion highlighter. Like, let's see side by side. Just look at the different sizes here. This has, I believe, 15 grams. This one has 9. So, I mean, that's a significant difference. So speaking of the Makeup Forever Profusion highlighter, this guy is in shade 01. I love it. It is so beautiful. It's really, really blinding too, as you'll see in the little video here, but it's got more of a pink undertone. It complements my skin very well, and sometimes I'll actually mix the two, which gives the extra blindingness of this guy with a little bit of a pink undertone, and it's beautiful. So now on to another one of my favorites that I feel like works really well for my skin. It's the Too Faced Love Light highlighter, prismatic highlighter, okay. It's the shade Blinded by the Light. It's the lightest one, I think. Well, there's 3 in the line. There's this one, there's like a gold-ish one, and then I think there's like a rose gold one as well. I feel like this guy is somewhere in between the Jeffree Star and the Makeup Forever one. I mean, it's really hard to tell on camera, but it's got a little bit of a pink tone to it. But it's also kind of got like that white gold, kind of similar to the Jeffree Star one. It's not quite as like blinding as the other two, but on a day where I'm feeling a little bit more, like I want a little bit more of a subtle highlight, because I gotta wear highlight every day. It's like a staple in my routine. But if I want a little bit more natural, I'll go for this guy, but it's very, very pretty. Highlighter all over my hands. Okay, so we have 3 more. Now on to this super, super bougie purchase of mine. It's the Dior Skin Nude Air Luminizers. I have the shade 002. It looks like this. It's so, so pretty. It says nude on it. Oh my god, do you see that? Honestly, it's very comparable to the Makeup Forever one. It's got the same type of like slightly pink silvery undertone to it, but I mean, you surely don't need to spend $60 on a highlighter. I actually went and I purchased the NARS Bourre de Plage highlighting palette for the one highlighter, the really pale highlighter in that palette that reminded me of the Jeffree Star one. That's why I wanted to purchase it. It had like Laguna and Casino bronzer in it as well, and like a couple other highlighting shades. But honestly, like when I worked at Sephora, I would wear Laguna bronzer all the time. I don't own like a single of it. And when I would wear it when I worked in Sephora, I really liked that bronzer. So I was like, okay, that's a win-win too. I get that bronzer in the palette as well. But I don't know, like in this palette, the pans are so, so tiny, and I didn't really feel like it transferred that well on my skin in the palette for whatever reason. So whatever. So I returned that and I bought this guy, and oh my god, it's so bougie. So extra. Like, you really don't need to spend this much, but I wanted to add it to my collection. So I did, and I love it. One thing I actually forgot to mention before too is that the Jeffree Star highlighter, this isn't a brand that Sephora carries. You unfortunately have to buy this online, which isn't always the greatest, because if you want to try a new product, you can't really test it first. So that's just something to keep in mind too. But all the other ones I've mentioned so far you can get at Sephora, and the next one too you can. The only difference between this guy and the previous ones is that this is a liquid highlighter. I'm not a huge fan of liquid highlighters. The only reason why I like this guy and the only reason why I, you know, wear it sometimes is because it is just absolutely ridiculously intense. Like, that's it there. Like, look at that. Like, come on. Just stop. Sometimes I'll even layer this underneath the Jeffree Star one, which I know I'm too obsessed with that highlighter, but I love a blinding highlight, and this as a base underneath that one, oh my god, if I'm feeling really glam, I'm having a really glam like day, that's what I'll do, and it's beautiful. This guy is like $42 though, so it's a little expensive, but it's a lot of product in here, and really you only need like the smallest drop. A little bit will go a really, really long way. But it is really, really pretty. It's the shade Celestial, the lightest shade, obviously. But if you're really fair, this really works for a very fair complexion as well. Okay, so now onto the final highlighter. So this actually is a highlighter that you can find in the drugstore, which I think is amazing. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter. I think the shade actually just came out. It's Blossom Glow. It is stunning. It is, I personally think, comparable to all the other ones. Like, screw the $60 Dior highlighter, why not just get this? And it does the exact same thing. It is so, so blinding. The formula is really, really smooth and it applies really well. It's not too glittery or like chunky or anything. It is absolutely beautiful. It's like pink. I guess there's like a reoccurring theme here. I really like a pink toned highlighter. Whatever. But it is so beautiful, and it's like $4.99. You can't really beat that, and it's like a decent sized pan too. I have to go pick up the other ones. It really, really works for a fair complexion. If you're on a budget and you don't have extra money to spend, just go drop a ton of money at Sephora. This is, like I said, $4.99, so you can get that blinding glam glow on a budget, girl. And then I just want to show like a little comparison, a side by side of each of them too, so I'll insert a little video here. Okay, so I'm taking this on my iPhone so I can show you guys what the shades look like with flash on. From left to right, we have the Jeffree Star Ice Cold Skin Frost, which, as you can tell, is probably the most blinding out of all of them, hence why I love it so much. Next to that is the Makeup Forever Profusion Highlight in shade 02. Next to that is the Too Faced Blinded by the Lights. Then we have the Dior Nude Air in shade 02. Then we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow. And then lastly is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in shade Celestial. So this is what it looks like with flash. I'll show you too what it looks like without, but that's a pretty good idea of the flashback on those highlighters. It's beautiful, am I right? And then just for kind of an idea of what they look like without flash, this would be that. As you can kind of tell, again, the Jeffree Star is still the most blinding without flash, and then probably second would be that Cover FX, the Custom Enhancer Drops. But honestly, all of them I totally recommend, especially if you're pale like me. If you've been struggling to find a really, really good highlighter, then bitch, you need to try these out. You are missing out. And like I said, if you don't want to go to Sephora and spend a ton of money on a highlighter, then get the Wet n Wild one. It's just absolutely stunning. It's that second from the right one. I mean, that's very comparable to the other ones, and that's a $4 highlighter, whereas the one next to it's $60. So, I mean, they're all pretty good quality. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my favorite highlighters for fair skin review. Like I said, I mean, like you saw, like any of these will work on super pale skin. So if you're really struggling to find one that, you know, is light enough, if you're really pale like me and you can't seem to find a really good highlighter that is super, super blinding but also doesn't leave like a weird dark cast on your cheek because it's too dark, then please go check these out. I cannot say enough good things about each of them. Just absolutely amazing and beautiful and blinding, and highlighting is fucking life. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. If you know any other highlighters out there, if you're pale like me and have any suggestions for me to try, please comment. I know there actually is a couple that I need to purchase to try out. But yeah, so leave a comment, subscribe too, that's really important. Gotta get the fam growing, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be posting a new video next week, so stay tuned for that too. If you turn the notification settings on, you'll be notified when I post next week, which I don't have a set date, so that might come in handy. So, you know, get a little notification when I finally decide to post. But other than that, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!